Scientists call this the hypnagogic state, that drowsy twilight between wake and sleep. Your brainwaves shift from beta to alpha to theta, and in that transition, you have a direct hotline to the part of your mind that runs the show. This isn't mystical mumbo-jumbo. This is neuroscience. Your subconscious mind processes over 11 million bits of information per second, while your conscious mind can only handle about 40. Guess which one is actually running your life? Think about it this way. Your subconscious mind is like the universe's personal assistant, working 24/7 to arrange circumstances, people, and opportunities to match whatever programming it's been given. Most people accidentally program it with worry, doubt, and fear all day long. But when you understand this bedtime window, you can hijack that system and give it new instructions. Now, I want to share something powerful with you. There's a command, an affirmation that cuts through all the spiritual noise and speaks directly to the creative force of the universe. It goes like this. I now command divine substance to manifest my desire in perfect timing, beginning now. Notice I said command, not ask, not beg, not hope. The universe responds to authority, not desperation. But here's where most people mess it up. They say these words while scrolling through their phones, half distracted, wondering if they remembered to pay the electric bill. That's like trying to place an order at a restaurant while having 3 other conversations. The universe can't hear you clearly. Let me give you the exact ritual that will change everything. Tonight, before you drift off to sleep, I want you to get comfortable in your bed. Turn off all the screens, all the distractions. Close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. With each breath, feel yourself sinking deeper into that receptive state. Now, think of one specific thing you want to manifest. Not 10 things, not a whole list. One thing. Maybe it's money, maybe it's love, maybe it's a new job, maybe it's healing. Get crystal clear on what you want. The universe loves specificity. Vague requests get vague results. Once you have that clear image or feeling of what you want, I want you to repeat this command 3 times with absolute conviction. I now command divine substance to manifest my desire in perfect timing, beginning now. Feel the truth of it in your bones. You're not asking permission. You're giving orders to a universe that exists to serve you. Here's the part that will blow your mind. Within 24 hours, and I mean this literally, you will see signs, synchronicities, or opportunities related to your desire. It might be a random text message, an unexpected conversation, a job posting that appears out of nowhere, money showing up in an unusual way. The universe has a sense of humor and loves to surprise you with how it delivers. Now, some of you are thinking, but what if I don't believe it will work? Here's a secret. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what you believe and what you repeatedly think about in a relaxed state. It's like a computer. It just follows programming. When you plant that command in the fertile soil of your drowsy mind, it starts working immediately, regardless of what your skeptical conscious mind thinks. I remember when I first discovered this truth. I had been struggling financially, and nothing seemed to work fast enough. I was tired of positive thinking that led to positive broke. So one night, I decided to test this principle. I got very specific about needing $500 within 24 hours for an unexpected expense. I did exactly what I'm teaching you now. The next day, I received a refund check I had completely forgotten about for exactly $500. Coincidence? I don't think so. The universe is not random. It's a precise, mathematical system that responds to mental commands given with clarity and conviction. When you work with this bedtime window, you're working with the natural rhythm of consciousness itself. But here's what you must understand. This isn't about manipulating the universe or forcing outcomes. It's about aligning yourself with the natural flow of abundance that is always trying to reach you. Most people block their good with doubt, fear, and impatience. When you use this nighttime ritual, you're clearing the channel for your desires to manifest. Some of you might be wondering about timing. Why 24 hours? Here's the beautiful thing about the universe. It loves to show off. It wants to prove to you that magic is real, that you have more power than you ever imagined. When you give it a specific time frame with unwavering expectation, it rises to meet that expectation. Now, let's talk about what to do during those 24 hours while you're waiting for your manifestation to unfold. This is crucial. You don't spend the day checking your phone every 5 minutes or looking for signs like a detective. You go about your day with quiet confidence, knowing that universal forces are already in motion. You act as if it's already handled, because it island. If doubt creeps in during the day, and it might, just remind yourself that you planted a seed in perfect soil. You don't dig up a seed every hour to see if it's growing. You water it with gratitude and trust it to bloom in perfect timing. Here's something most manifestation teachers won't tell you. Sometimes the universe delivers in ways that look different from what you expected. Maybe you asked for money and instead received an opportunity to earn it. Maybe you asked for love and instead received healing that makes you ready for love. The universe is infinitely intelligent and always delivers what serves your highest good. I want to address something important. Some of you have been disappointed before. You've tried manifestation techniques that didn't work, and you're afraid to hope again. I understand that. But here's what I know to be true. Every failed attempt was teaching you something valuable. Maybe you were trying to manifest from fear instead of faith. Maybe you were too attached to how things should happen instead of trusting how they would happen. This bedtime ritual is different because it works with your natural consciousness cycles. You're not fighting against your mind, you're working with it. You're not forcing anything, you're allowing everything. There's a difference between demanding and commanding. Demanding comes from lack. Commanding comes from knowing your divine inheritance. Let me tell you about divine substance. This is the raw material from which all things are made. It's pure potential, waiting to be shaped by your thoughts and words. When you command divine substance to manifest your desire, you're working with the same creative force that builds galaxies and grows flowers. You're not separate from this force. You are this force expressing itself as you. The timing part of the affirmation is crucial. When you say, "in perfect timing," you're acknowledging that the universe sees the bigger picture. Maybe you think you need something right now, but the universe knows exactly when you need it for maximum benefit. Trust the timing, even if it's not your timing. Here's a practical tip for making this even more powerful. Before you do your bedtime ritual, spend a few minutes feeling grateful for something that's already manifested in your life. Gratitude is like a magnet for more good things. When you approach your desires from a place of appreciation rather than desperation, you become irresistibly attractive to your good. Now, I want to talk about faith for a moment. Faith isn't blind belief. It's acting on spiritual law even when you can't see the results yet. When you plant that command in your subconscious mind and go to sleep expecting results, you're exercising faith. You're betting on the invisible forces that run this universe. Some of you are probably thinking, "This sounds too good to be true." I used to think the same thing, until I started seeing undeniable results. The universe doesn't care if you think something is too good to be true. It only cares about the mental commands you give it. When you change your inner conversation, your outer world has no choice but to rearrange itself to match. Let me share a story that illustrates this perfectly. A woman I know was desperately looking for a new apartment. She had been searching for months with no luck. Everything was either too expensive or in a terrible location. She was getting discouraged and started to believe maybe she was asking for too much. Then she learned about this bedtime technique. That night, she got very specific about what she wanted. A beautiful, affordable apartment in a safe neighborhood that she could move into within 2 weeks. She commanded divine substance to manifest this desire and went to sleep with complete trust. The next day, she received a call from a friend who knew someone moving out of their dream apartment. Not only was it everything she had asked for, but the rent was $200 less than what she had been willing to pay. Coincidence? I think not. This is how the universe works when you know how to communicate with it clearly. It's always listening, always ready to say yes to your desires. The question is, are you giving it clear instructions or mixed signals? Here's something important to understand about this 24-hour time frame. You might not always get the full manifestation in 24 hours, but you will always get movement. You might get a sign, an opportunity, a door opening, a person appearing, or an idea dropping into your mind. This movement is the universe's way of saying, I heard you and I'm working on it. Guess what? You'll never join them. You can't become what you resent. You can't receive what you judge. You can't attract what you secretly fear. Now, I know that might sound harsh, but it's also liberating because it means you have full control. Your finances are not a random accident. They're a reflection of your energetic conversation with the universe. And the good news is, you can change the script at any moment. You can command your finances to expand. Let's imagine this for a moment. Your bank account is like a loyal dog. It doesn't judge you, it just obeys your tone. If you constantly say, there's never enough, it whimpers and hides. If you say, I am always provided for, it wags its tail and brings more. The tone you use when you talk about money matters more than the numbers on your paycheck. Because abundance isn't something you chase, it's something you command. Now let's take a little honest inventory. When you receive money, what's your first thought? Is it, finally, now I can pay these bills? Or is it, thank you, universe, for the flow of abundance? The first thought shuts the flow, the second keeps it running. Gratitude is the language of multiplication. But I get it, you might be thinking, that sounds lovely, but my landlord doesn't take gratitude as rent. True, but gratitude opens the door for miracles that logic cannot explain. When you align your vibration with abundance, you begin to attract opportunities, ideas, and people that money alone could never buy. The universe starts working behind the scenes in ways you can't see, but you can definitely feel. Let me explain this in simple terms, scientifically and spiritually. Everything in the universe vibrates. Your thoughts, emotions, and even your words carry a frequency. When you constantly complain about money, you vibrate at the frequency of lack. And by the law of resonance, you attract situations that match that vibration. But when you affirm abundance, even when your wallet is thin, you send out a signal of wealth. And over time, reality rearranges itself to meet that vibration. This isn't wishful thinking. It's energetic alignment. Here's a little experiment you can try today. Every time you spend money, no matter how small, say to yourself, money flows back to me multiplied. When you buy coffee, say it. When you pay your bills, say it. When you tip someone, say it. You're training your subconscious mind to associate spending with flow, not loss. The problem with most people is they treat money like it's leaving forever, instead of circulating. Money doesn't disappear, it moves. And when you bless its movement, it returns with friends. So the next time you make a payment, imagine that money is a loyal messenger going out to gather more abundance on your behalf. Tell it, go, multiply, and come back with blessings. The universe listens to every word that comes from your heart, especially when it's wrapped in faith and joy. Let's address another truth. Your emotions are your financial thermostat. Have you noticed that when you're feeling good, opportunities appear effortlessly, and when you're stressed, even small things go wrong? That's not coincidence. That's energy alignment. You can't attract wealth from a place of worry. You must first feel rich inside before your outer world reflects it. Now, don't panic. I'm not asking you to fake happiness when your bills are due. I'm asking you to shift your focus from fear to faith. Say to yourself, I may not see how, but I know provision is on its way. The how is none of your business. That's the universe's job. Your only responsibility is to hold the frequency of faith and gratitude. Here's a secret most people miss. The universe is extremely obedient. It doesn't argue with you. If you say, I'm broke, it nods and agrees. If you say, I'm abundant, it nods again and agrees. The universe is like a cosmic assistant that never says no. So be careful what you say, because every word is a seed. You can't plant I'm broke and expect a harvest of I'm wealthy. The soil only produces what you sow. Now, let's make this practical. I want to share 3 easy steps you can use starting today to command your bank account to multiply. Step 1. Change your money language. Never say, I can't afford it. Instead, say, how can I afford it? That single word, how, opens a portal of creativity. It tells your mind to look for solutions instead of shutting down. Your subconscious mind is like a powerful computer. If you give it a negative command, it will freeze. But if you give it a creative question, it will search for answers day and night. Step 2, start a daily abundance declaration. Every morning before you touch your phone or check your messages, say aloud, I am open to the infinite wealth of the universe. Money flows to me easily, constantly, and joyfully. Say it like you mean it. Say it while brushing your teeth. Say it while making your coffee. You're reprogramming your energy field, and the more consistent you are, the faster it works. Remember, faith grows through repetition. Step 3, bless your current finances. No matter how small they seem, treat them like royalty. Energy flows through order. A messy wallet invites chaos. A neat one invites clarity. When you show respect for what you have, you prove to the universe that you're ready for more. Now, I know some of you might still say, but I've tried affirmations before, and nothing changed. Here's the missing ingredient: emotion. Words alone don't manifest, feelings do. You must feel the abundance as if it's already yours. That's the secret behind faith. You don't wait to feel rich after the money comes. You feel rich now, and the money follows that feeling like a loyal servant. And yes, you can be playful with it. When you pass by something expensive, instead of saying, that's too much, try saying, soon, that will be pocket change. Smile when you say it. You're not lying, you're creating. You're setting the vibration of your future. Humor is a form of faith too, because it shows that you're not worried. The universe loves a joyful heart. It multiplies what you celebrate. Let me tell you a little story. There was a woman who used to cry every time she looked at her bills. One day, she decided to stop being afraid of them. She took her bills, placed them neatly on her table, and said, "Thank you, universe, for trusting me with these responsibilities. I bless these bills with abundance, and I know the money to pay them is already on its way." Within 2 weeks, she received unexpected payments, a refund she didn't even remember, and a freelance job that covered all her expenses. The moment she stopped vibrating fear, she made room for solutions. That's how the law works. You command with faith, not fear. You don't plead with the universe, you instruct it. You don't chase money, you magnetize it. Because abundance doesn't respond to desperation, it responds to certainty. So right now, I want you to make a decision. Not tomorrow, not next week now. Decide that you will no longer speak the language of lack. Decide that your bank account is on its way to expansion. Decide that every cent in your possession is a seed of multiplication. Because once you decide, the universe reorganizes itself around your conviction. Now that you've decided to speak the language of abundance, let's take it one step deeper. Because commanding your bank account to multiply isn't about shouting orders into the sky. It's about embodying the vibration of wealth so fully that the universe can't help but respond. Imagine walking into a room like you own the place, not arrogantly, but confidently. That quiet assurance that says, I belong here. That's the same energy you must carry when you deal with money. When you approach your finances with fear, you're telling the universe, I don't trust you. But when you approach them with calm assurance, you're saying, I know abundance is my birthright. Think about it. When you plant a seed, you don't dig it up every hour to check if it's growing. You trust the process. You water it, give it sunlight, and let nature do the rest. But when it comes to money, we panic. We sow a seed of faith in the morning and dig it up by evening saying, where's my harvest? The universe says, I was growing it for you, until you doubted. Faith is the soil of manifestation. And like any good gardener, you have to tend it with patience and joy. You can't plant wealth in a garden full of worry. Pull out those weeds, the thoughts that say, I'll never get ahead, or money is hard to come by. Replace them with truths like, I am always supported, or wealth flows through me easily. Now let's talk about a sneaky little thing called energetic debt. You might be surprised, but this has nothing to do with your credit card balance. Energetic debt happens when you carry guilt, resentment, or fear around money. For example, maybe you still feel guilty for a financial mistake from years ago, or maybe you resent someone who owes you money. Those emotions act like tiny leaks in your financial energy. They drain your abundance without you realizing it. So how do you fix it? Forgiveness. Yes, forgiveness even in your finances. Forgive yourself for past mistakes. Forgive others who wronged you financially. Say it aloud. I release all energetic debt. I am free to receive. You'll feel lighter instantly, and that lightness is the signal that attracts fresh abundance. The universe can't fill a full cup, but it rushes to fill an empty one. Now here's where it gets interesting. There's a rhythm to wealth, just like there's a rhythm to breathing. You inhale, you exhale, you receive, you give. Most people struggle financially because they only focus on inhaling, receiving. They clutch their money, afraid to let it go, not realizing that abundance needs circulation to stay alive. Holding on too tightly tells the universe you don't trust the flow. And when trust disappears, so does the flow. You don't have to give away all your savings, but give joyfully where you can. Tip generously, donate a little, buy someone a coffee without expecting anything back. You'll be amazed how quickly that energy returns multiplied. The universe measures not how much you give, but how much joy you feel while giving. And let's sprinkle in some humor, shall we? Because the quickest way to open the door to abundance is to stop taking your financial situation so seriously. Have you ever noticed that when you laugh, life feels lighter, and suddenly solutions appear? Money loves a cheerful home. It doesn't like living with someone who's always frowning, saying, "I never have enough." It wants to hang out with people who smile and say, "I always have more than enough." So make your financial energy fun. Dance when you receive money. Thank your phone when a payment notification comes in. Treat your wallet like a happy guest, not a burden. Let me share something that changed my life. I used to keep my bills in a messy pile. One day I decided to organize them, light a candle, and bless each one, saying, "Thank you for the service. This represents electricity, water, shelter. I am grateful to have the means to enjoy them." The energy in my home shifted instantly. It felt peaceful. Within days, new clients appeared, unexpected income flowed in, and my heart knew the universe had been waiting for that gratitude. When you bless what you have, you multiply it. When you curse what you have, you shrink it. So bless your wallet, your debit card, your bills, your income, even the coins in your pocket. Look at them and say, "You are divine substance in visible form, and you multiply as I use you." Words carry power, and your money listens. Here's another simple yet powerful practice. Visualize your bank account as if it already contains the amount you desire. Don't think, "I wish." Think, "It is." See those numbers on your banking app in your mind's eye. Feel the relief, the joy, the freedom. Then release it and go about your day. The trick is to believe it so vividly that your subconscious starts working behind the scenes to make it real. Now, let's address something important, the fear of asking for more. Many people silently sabotage themselves because deep down, they think wanting more is greedy. But here's the truth. Abundance is not selfish. It's your natural state. You can't help the world by being broke and worried. You help by being abundant, peaceful, and generous. When you prosper, you inspire others to do the same. You show what's possible. So, give yourself permission to be wealthy. Say it out loud right now. It's safe for me to have more money. It's safe for me to be rich. Because when you feel safe with wealth, it flows easily. If you secretly believe that more money equals more problems, you'll unconsciously repel it. But when you believe that more money equals more freedom, peace, and impact, you open the floodgates. Let's make this practical again. Here are 3 daily habits that will help you command your bank account to multiply. First, keep an abundance journal. Every day, write down all the ways you received abundance, not just money, but gifts, compliments, free coffee, parking spots, anything that made you feel supported. When you record these moments, you train your brain to look for abundance. What you focus on expands. Second, create a money mantra. Pick one sentence that makes you feel powerful and free. It could be, "Money loves me," or "I'm a magnet for divine wealth." Repeat it several times a day, especially when fear creeps in. Your mantra is your energetic password to access the vibration of wealth. Third, celebrate every deposit, no matter how small. Whether it's $10 or $10,000, say, "Thank you, universe, for this flow of abundance." Gratitude multiplies what you acknowledge. And if you ever receive unexpected money, say this: "I am open to even greater miracles." That statement tells the universe, "I'm ready for more." Here's a funny thing about commanding your bank account the moment you start doing it. People around you may look at you like you've lost your mind. Let them. They don't understand yet that the spiritual laws of wealth are far more real than the financial systems of the world. The currency of faith is stronger than the currency of fear. You must remember this. Money is spiritual. It's not evil, it's not dirty, and it's not against divine law to want it. It's simply energy in motion. You're not asking the universe to give you something unnatural, you're asking it to express through you what it already is: abundance. And when you finally understand that, something beautiful happens. You stop chasing money and start attracting it. You stop begging and start commanding. You stop worrying and start expecting. So, let's do a little exercise together right now. Take a deep breath, place your hand on your heart, and repeat after me with a smile. I am one with the infinite wealth of the universe. Money flows to me freely, easily, and joyfully. Every dollar I spend returns to me multiplied. I command my bank account to overflow with abundance, and I receive it with gratitude. Breathe that in. Feel it. Own it. That right there is the vibration of wealth. Now I want you to promise yourself something, that from this moment forward, you will never again speak negatively about your finances. No more saying, "I'm broke." No more, "I can't afford it." Replace every limiting phrase with words of power, because your words are spells, and your life is the magic they create. If you truly want your bank account to multiply, treat your words like money. Spend them wisely. Speak only what you want to see. When you say, "I am abundant," you're not describing your situation, you're creating it. Here's a little bonus practice I love. Before bed each night, whisper, "Thank you, universe, for the unseen blessings already on their way." Then, close your eyes and imagine waking up to good news, maybe an unexpected payment, a new client, a surprise opportunity. Go to sleep feeling rich, and you'll wake up attracting richness. Now, let's bring this all together. The power to command your bank account lies not in the numbers you see, but in the vibration you carry. You are not waiting for abundance to find you, it's been waiting for you to believe. And once you do, it will show up in forms you couldn't even predict. So here's my invitation to you. Today, try one small step from everything we've shared. Maybe write your money mantra, or bless your wallet, or just say thank you every time you spend. Start small, but start now. The universe loves movement. Even the tiniest step in faith triggers waves of change. And before you go, remember your financial life is not a random accident. It's a reflection of your beliefs, words, and energy. Shift those, and your reality must follow. The universe listens when you speak with faith, gratitude, and joy. If this message stirred something inside you, don't let it fade. Leave a comment below sharing what step you'll take today to command your bank account to multiply. And if you're ready for more teachings like this, subscribe, because the universe rewards consistency, and I want you to stay in this vibration of growth, faith, and laughter. Because you, my dear friend, were never meant to struggle financially. You were meant to overflow. Now go ahead, command your bank account to multiply. The universe is already listening. You've been commanding all the wrong things. She looked at me as if I'd suggested she take up tightrope walking. But here's the beautiful truth. The same power that was creating her problems could create her miracles. She just needed to change her commands. Now you might be wondering, what exactly is this divine command? Well, it's simpler than you think, and more powerful than you can imagine. It's the spoken word backed by unwavering faith. Not hope, mind you, not wishful thinking, but absolute rock-solid faith that knows, without a shadow of a doubt, that what you speak must come to pass. The Bible tells us that God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. He didn't say, "Well, let's see if we can get some light going here," or, "I hope this light thing works out." He commanded, and it was done. And here's the magnificent part. We're made in His image. That same creative power flows through us. We are co-creators with the divine, armed with the same tool that spoke the universe into existence, the Word. But here's where it gets interesting, and where most people trip themselves up. They think they can speak one way and believe another. They'll say their affirmations in the morning, "I am prosperous and successful," and then spend the rest of the day telling anyone who'll listen about how broke they are and how nothing ever works out. It's like ordering chocolate cake and then immediately shouting, "Cancel that! Bring me liver and onions." The poor universe doesn't know whether to laugh or cry. The divine command requires what I call single-mindedness. Your thoughts, your words, and your beliefs must march in the same direction, like a well-trained army. When they're all aligned, pointing toward the same goal, that's when miracles happen so fast it'll make your head spin. Let me share another story. There was a man who came to me, absolutely convinced he was meant to be poor. "I come from a long line of poor people," he said. "My father was poor, his father was poor, and his father before him was poor. It's just our lot in life." I had to bite my tongue to keep from laughing. Here was a man who had inherited poverty like it was the family silverware, polishing it lovingly and passing it down to the next generation. "My good man," I said, "you've been commanding poverty with such dedication. You deserve a medal. But what if you commanded prosperity with the same unwavering faith?" He looked skeptical, but he was desperate enough to try. We worked on changing his commands from, "I am poor because my family is poor," to, "I am prosperous because I am a child of the Most High." Within 6 months, opportunities began appearing in his life like flowers after rain. A business proposition that seemed to come from nowhere, an investment that paid off handsomely, and even a small inheritance from a distant relative he'd never met. The universe had simply responded to his new commands with the same obedience it had shown to his old ones. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds too good to be true. Where's the catch? The catch, my dear friends, is that you must become as a little child. Children don't doubt. When a child decides they're a princess or a superhero, they don't stop to analyze the probability of royal blood or the physics of flying. They simply are what they say they are, with complete and utter conviction. We grown-ups, with all our education and experience, have learned to doubt. We've been taught that being realistic is a virtue, that dreaming big is childish, and that we should expect less so we won't be disappointed. We've trained ourselves out of the very quality that makes the divine command work, absolute faith. But here's the wonderful news. You can reclaim that childlike faith. You can remember how to command the universe with the authority that is your birthright. It starts with understanding that doubt is not wisdom. It's just fear dressed up in intellectual clothing. The divine command works through what I call the law of supply and demand, but not in the way economists mean it. When you demand something from the universe with absolute faith, not begging, not pleading, but demanding as one who knows their rights, the supply appears. It has to. It's spiritual law, as reliable as gravity and as constant as the sunrise. But you must speak as one having authority. When Jesus commanded the storm to be still, he didn't say, "Please, if it's not too much trouble, could you possibly consider calming down a bit?" He said, "Peace, be still." And immediately, there was a great calm. That's the tone, that's the energy, that's the unwavering certainty that makes the universe snap to attention. I remember a dear woman who came to me, worried about her son who had been unemployed for months. She'd been praying and worrying in equal measure, which is like stepping on the gas and the brake at the same time. I taught her to command instead of petition, instead of, "Please God, help my son find work." She learned to declare, "My son has perfect right action in his life. His ideal position now manifests." Within 2 weeks, he had 3 job offers. The universe doesn't dawdle when it receives clear orders from someone who knows they have the right to give them. The key to commanding with authority is remembering who you are. You're not a victim of circumstances. You're not at the mercy of the economy, the government, other people's opinions, or any other external condition. You are a spiritual being having a human experience, equipped with the same creative power that fashioned the stars and set the planets in motion. When you truly grasp this, not just intellectually, but in every cell of your being, your words carry a different vibration. They ring with authority because they come from someone who knows their divine inheritance. The universe recognizes this vibration and responds accordingly. But remember, the divine command isn't just about getting what you want. It's about aligning yourself with the highest good, with divine order, with what's meant to be. Sometimes what we think we want isn't what's best for us, and the universe, in its infinite wisdom, brings us something even better than what we asked for. I always tell people to end their commands with this or something better. It gives the universe permission to exceed your expectations, and believe me, it loves to show off. You might command a new job and receive a business opportunity that makes you your own boss. You might command healing and find not just physical wellness but emotional and spiritual transformation as well. The most important thing to remember is that the universe is always saying yes to you. It's saying yes to your fears, yes to your doubts, yes to your limiting beliefs, and yes to your grandest dreams. The choice of what it says yes to is entirely up to you. You are the commander, and the universe is your willing servant. So starting today, beginning right now, I challenge you to become conscious of your commands. Listen to your words, watch your thoughts, and notice what you're ordering from the cosmic kitchen. Are you commanding lack or abundance, sickness or health, failure or success, love or loneliness? Whatever you've been commanding unconsciously, you can change consciously. The power is in your mouth, backed by the faith in your heart, supported by the truth of your divine nature. You are not here to be small, to struggle, to barely get by. You are here to demonstrate the magnificence of the creative power that flows through you. Remember, my dear friends, every time you speak, you're either commanding the universe to expand your good or contract it. There's no neutral ground. So why not command miracles? Why not demand the best life has to offer? Why not speak with the authority of one who knows they are beloved children of the Most High, entitled to every good thing? The divine command that makes the universe obey instantly isn't some mystical secret known only to a chosen few. It's your birthright, your inheritance, your natural spiritual technology. Use it wisely, use it boldly, and use it with love. Start with something small if you must, just to build your faith muscles. Command a parking space, a green light, or a beautiful day. Watch how quickly the universe responds when you speak with conviction rather than hope. Then gradually work up to the bigger things: perfect health, abundant prosperity, ideal relationships, meaningful work. The universe is waiting for your commands, my friends. It's been waiting your whole life. So what are you waiting for? Step up to your divine authority. Speak your word with power. Command your good to manifest now. The universe is listening, and it's ready to obey instantly. If this message has stirred something in your heart, if you can feel the truth of your own divine authority beginning to awaken, then share this with others who need to remember their power. Leave a comment about your first divine command experiment. Subscribe for more wisdom about living the abundant life that's your spiritual inheritance. And remember, you're not just a human being hoping for the best. You're a divine commander, and it's time to start acting like it. The universe is saying yes to you right now. What will you command it to create?